We are standing at Fort Fisher, North Carolina, located at the end of New Hanover County. New Hanover County is a narrow peninsula that is bordered on the west by the Cape Fear River and on the east by the Atlantic Ocean. It tapers to a point at what we call New Inlet, one of two entrances into the harbor during the American Civil War. I was born in the lower Cape Fear and grew up hearing the great stories of the history of this area. They're just wonderful stories that not many people know about on a national level, at least. We have one of the earliest descriptions of Europeans meeting with Native Americans from 1524. The lower Cape Fear may have been the first place where Europeans built a new ship in the New World. In 1840, the longest railroad in the world had its headquarters here in Wilmington, the Wilmington-Weldon Railroad. I wrote the Wilmington Campaign, Last Rays of Departing Hope, to illuminate the significance of the lower Cape Fear during the Civil War. Fort Fisher was built to protect the northern inlet, New Inlet, for blockade runners that were using it to bring vital supplies to the beleaguered Confederacy and civilians on the home front. Fort Fisher would emerge as the largest Confederate seacoast fortification made of earth and would withstand the largest naval bombardments of the entire war. Beyond the fact that I talk about the politics of command and strategy and tactics and the battles themselves for the important port of Wilmington, it is the human drama that I try to bring out as well. It's the story of the young Union Sergeant Major who was killed tragically in the Fort Fisher battle, and his family read about his death in the New York Herald newspaper, and then the father determined to go to North Carolina, to Fort Fisher, where he had never been before, a 1,200-mile round trip to try and recover his son's body, and did so, and then wrote a wonderful story called The Incredible Journey. I continue to write about local history. I am now working on a book called Cape Fear Civil War Stories that will be about my favorite human interest vignettes. I am also writing a book on the other Confederate fort in the area, Fort Anderson on the west side of the Cape Fear River, which in itself is a remarkable story. And I'm also writing a biography of William Barker Cushing, a young Union naval commando who emerged from the Civil War better known than most admirals. Only Admiral Farragut was better known and more popular than William Barker Cushing, who has sort of been lost to the mists of time. I just hope that people come away with a greater understanding of how important the history of the lower Cape Fear is, and with that greater awareness, to look at their own local histories, to look at their own family histories, because local history reflects, I think, as close as we can get, the true nature of who we are, our local culture, our local society, our relationships with one another. So I would encourage people to turn inward and look at themselves. There's a lot of wonderful stories there that truly illuminate who we are as Americans.